Today's episode is brought to you by Me Undies. Me Undies are the undies that I have on me. Also today, we're brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is going to get you that good food delivered to your home to make food at home like a normal person, Jesse. Weird that I would address that to myself. I don't know why I would do that. Anyway, let's jump into this podcast. Hello, everybody. It's time for Cox and Crendor.
Cox and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4-hour recording studios. Recording. Wake your ass up. It's the Crendor in the morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cox and Crendor in the morning.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Is all you say? Hey.
Hey.
Well, say hey. Go look at the new Cox and Crendor animated. That's what you should do.
That's right. A new Cox and Crendor animated.
It's out right now. It's very good. It is one of our favorite boys, Hank the Tank.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
What a hero. What a hero.
Yeah. It's actually a honker animated episode. It's like 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's very good. It explains why it took a little longer than normal, but it's one of the best ones you've done. Dantan?
Yep.
Dantan is a stone cold killer when it comes to animation. The man is out there putting in work.
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece theater.
What'd you do this week? Create any masterpieces?
Boy, I almost was about to say a thing that wasn't appropriate.
All right.
I'm going to say it anyway. I was about to say, this is the problem with me, is I have to self-censor myself sometimes because I know what I'm about to say, like, shouldn't be said, but I'm going to say it anyway because F it, I don't care. I was about to say, I made a masterpiece in my toilet. That's what I was going to say because I've been sick all week.
What'd you get? Just a cold? Flu?
No, not even like sickness of the head. I'm talking about like gut sickness.
Yeah.
Once again got by almond milk. This time I went to a new vegan place opened up, and I'm not against vegan food. I think a lot of vegan food is very delicious if it's like made well, right? And this new place that opened was not made well, and I don't know what they put it in for whatever reason. I don't know why it was there, but I did call them, and they were like, "Yeah, we have almond milk in some of the dishes," and I was like, "Cool." So, as I'm sure you know from this podcast before, almond milk does not sit well with me, and I didn't know why. We've looked it up, and there was people saying like, yeah, it's a thing. This week, though, someone did say definitively why. I guess in almond milk, there's a ingredient, some sort of chemical they add that is natural, but it's added to make the milk thicken, and that ingredient is like cremamine or some nonsense like that.
Right.
Creatinine, whatever it is, that is known to make people have very bad bowel issues.
Oh.
And so I think Wednesday, maybe it was Thursday. Thursday is when I ate there. I think it was Thursday night, I think. It was either Wednesday night or Thursday night. It's all blending together. But immediately the next day. And ever since, I've been my stomach is a mess. I need to like get my bacterias all working again. I don't know what's going on, bro. Yeah, I like ate yogurt. I have been eating the best I've ever been eating ever. Period. I have been like today I woke up and ate an apple. Just like woke up and ate an apple.
Here's the thing. Apples, they mess me up.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting. Why an apple?
Apple's kind of high in FODMAP.
What is that? FODMAP?
Oh, man. Let me tell you about FODMAPs.
I hate that you have lingo and slang for what's wrong with you.
Listen, you're talking to somebody who's had 2 endoscopies, a gallbladder removal, and I've been like 4 gastro doctors, all right?
I mean, all right. My God.
So FODMAPs are for like IBS. So essentially IBS is them being like, we don't know what's wrong. It's probably something, it's either your colon's freaking out, spasms, or like some food's irritating it, whatever. So they're like, try going on the FODMAP diet. So what this is there's certain foods called FODMAPs, which are, here it is, fermentable oligosaccharide, disaccharide, monosaccharide, and polyols,
I know why you say FODMAP now. I get it. I understand.
which are short-chain carbohydrates, sugars, that the small intestine absorbs poorly. Some people experience digestive distress after eating them. So, ideally what you do is you go on this FODMAP diet where you remove a bunch of these FODMAP foods and then you slowly reintroduce them. And so you're like, all right, today I'm going to eat an onion. And you're like, okay, I was fine. It's probably not onions. And then you're like, today I'm going to eat broccoli. And then you're like, oh, that messed me up. I guess broccoli's a problem, right? So that's pretty much what you do. I learned apples, I can eat maybe one apple. But if I eat like 2 apples in a week, it's over.
I'm blown away that's. But I guess, what am I saying? I'm over here like, the one weird ingredient that they put in one type of milk is what gets me. So how can I complain if apples are your thing?
And the thing is, like cauliflower, I can eat cauliflower. Broccoli, I can eat some. I can eat like a handful of broccoli. If I eat more than that, that's a problem.
So do you have to? Are you worried? Do you like? Can you like not eat like a nice summer salad? If you get a summer salad, they stick apples on that. If they like put broccoli, you're done.
If salads are like just like uncooked vegetables and fruits, which actually can be harder on your digestive system. So actually, a lot of times salads can irritate your digestive system.
You're a no on salads, man.
I mean, I'll eat a salad, but not all the time.
Never would have guessed. I'm a huge. Last night I had a salad for dinner because I was like, okay, I need some roughage. I need something. I need like something in me because let me tell you, it has been like World War III in my gut the last couple of days, where every like moment is like there's things are talking in there, man. It's communicating with me. It's like stop. So I went and got us like one of them fancy salads that has all sorts of vegetables in it. And I'm hoping that'll do the trick. I feel much better today, that's for sure. But
that's good.
Woo, I don't know, man. I'm waiting for it. I've been eating very little because what ends up happening is I will eat something, and then immediately my stomach is like, "You shouldn't have done that," and then I'm done. Like I'm done, and I don't know if I'm just still recovering or if I'm in a new phase of my life where this is how I live now. I don't know. It is jarring.
Yeah, it's funny enough because I had the same thing a few days ago. I don't know what
you did tweet about this, and I realized that we were probably having sympathy pains.
Maybe. Well, I know mine's like the irritable bowel syndrome. I've had it literally my entire life, and my family has it. It's a fun time. So
I don't like. You know what? I don't like it, and I sympathize with you even more now. It sucks.
Yeah. So I don't know what like set it off this time. Sometimes even just stress can do it. And it's just like, I guess here it is. But I had the gurgles. I was going to the bathroom. I went like 5 times. It was, and then the next day, I was like, yeah, I feel like 60% better. And then like later that night, I was fine. So I don't even know. I was like, was this like a bug thing I got? But I'm pretty sure it was the IBS.
What's upsetting to me is I know I got it at this vegan place, and it upsets me because it wasn't even good food. Like, it was great food,
yeah.
And I was like, man, I enjoyed that. What a shame there's this. This place told me they were going to give me something good. It was like, it was burnt, and I don't know how you burn it. It was dry. The veggies they put on the sandwich were like wilted and weird. This place just opened. How you have wilted veggies and you just open on Monday? How's that possible?
Yeah, I don't know. That's
You're a vegan place. How you have wilted veggies? So upsetting.
Were they crowded?
I was so mad.
Were they crowded?
Now? Yeah, of course. It's LA. It just opened, so of course it's crowded.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very LA thing. I feel like most other places in everywhere don't just have like the plethora of vegan options and restaurants.
I think I mentioned it before. There's a place. This actually is upsetting to me. There was that place downtown, the Dankness Dojo.
Oh,
That place had one of the best. That vegan wrap that was like a Taco Bell wrap. That thing was the best thing I've ever eaten vegan anywhere ever. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, I would be willing to drive to downtown LA to try that again. Like maybe get a beer or two. They're closed. COVID killed them. Yeah, they're done. I know, dude.
Oh my god.
Done.
I'll never have a dank dojo.
Yeah, they have like another place that exists, but yeah, they're no longer in that space. Which is, I think, the hallmark of LA stuff. Like this vegan place that I went to before is, I'm convinced it's packed right now because it's week 1. But locations are expensive, and I don't think, based on the food I had, I bet they'll be gone in like a month.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's back to burgers for me.
Back to Burger Town. See, that's one of the reasons that's why for dinner all the time we have our standard dinner we eat, which is chicken with ginger rice, carrots, and bok choy. Those are 2 vegetables I can handle. And then a tiny bit of the Nando's garlic sauce to dip the chicken in.
Oh, now you're just torturing me. That sounds so good.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so that was my week. I did nothing. I had a bunch of ideas. I was gonna stream and I was gonna do stuff. No, man, I came to the office, did the work I had to do, and then went home and sat on my couch like, oh, I should eat something. I'm hungry, but like I don't want to eat anything. And I just sat there like, oh, what have I done to myself?
See, now you're literally living the Crendor from ages 28 till about 30 life.
Well, let me tell you, not a fan.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's no good.
I wanted to do anything, literally anything, and I would like get up and move around, and my stomach would be like, if you move, I'm gonna poop. And I'm like, stop. Please stop.
Yeah, it's digestive pain. You gotta love it.
How'd I get here? This isn't me. I'm having iron stomach. I'm over here ordering like extra hot Vindaloos. That does nothing to me. But this stupid additive ingredient in milk from almonds, which isn't even real milk, I'm over here like, I'm dying, Lord. Put me out of my misery. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it.
Bodies are crazy and weird.
I know, dude. What happens? What happens? If it gets worse, I'm not looking forward to it. Yeah. I can't. Oh, my God.
And that used to be me. I used to be able to get anything. And then, boom, it just hits. Your body's like, I give up. I ain't doing this shit. I'm not a fan.
I got to do everything in my power. I'm going to become that. This is my villain story. I'm going to become that guy who searches for a way to live forever so I don't have to get old. Like, forever youth so I don't have to get old. And, like, I am doing pretty okay with everything considering. And when I see, like, people tweet, like, just turned 30, my knees are already hurting. I'm like, bro, I don't want that. I couldn't. If I started to have, like, knee pains, I wouldn't. No, I'm so good right now. Please. Please, body, hold up. I'm begging you. I know we don't get along that much and I barely take care of you, but my God, I don't need knee pain. I don't need like weird pain. So far, I'm in the clear, but I know it's going to happen. And I'm worried it's going to like, this is the start of it. I woke up one day and now I can't, I'm like, I'm booing everywhere, Crendor. I'm falling apart. And that's it. And then I'm going to be on the Crendor path. And then I'm done. I see it as clear as day. Then they're going to, might as well just throw me in the grave because I don't want to live like that.
Speaking of which, the desk is being lowered.
Oh, update on that.
Oh.
Got a message from our lady friend who was like, I've been looking out for you.
Right.
She messaged me and said that the desk was coming this Wednesday.
Oh.
Yes, so I'm very excited. Here's the thing. I didn't get an official message.
All right.
So I have no tracking information, but she said it'll be here Wednesday. So very excited. I think this week I'm going to do a lot of apartment cleaning and try to, even though I clean too much, I'm going to try to like move stuff around and find the perfect place for my new desk.
So you said you didn't get an official message? What's that mean?
Like I didn't get, you know how you usually get like, thanks for your order. Here's a bunch of crap from like one of those emails that you can't email back to because it's not a real email thing. I didn't get one of those. Instead, I just got a message from this lady that said, it'll be there Wednesday. No tracking information, no nothing, just it'll be there Wednesday. Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
It is very weird. But here's the thing. She said she was looking out. She's looking out. So far, so good. Yeah. I can't complain.
That's true. She's looking out.
Yeah. She's messaged me more than I thought about even messaging this company.
Yeah, maybe she canceled those emails. She's like, he doesn't need them.
Yeah, she's like, I got this, but don't worry, I got him. Shug. I don't know why she talks like that. But that's who she is to me now.
Yeah.
a motherly figure looking out for my sit-stand desk. I'm excited. It is gonna be great to have that because I might leave that standing the entire time.
That's crazy, but whatever floats your boat.
I don't do a lot of when I'm at home. A great example is the other day before I got sick. I was at home and I was going through a bin of stuff that I have, trying to figure out what I could bring to the office and then what I could just get rid of. And I have 3 bins in my home, and some of it is clothes that I want to. Here's how you know I am a fool. Some of it is clothes that someone gave to me, or I was and I'm I love this outfit. I love it. It is 2 sizes too small. And I'm one day though, Jesse, one day you're going to be able to fit into this. And so I just keep it. But clearly it's pointless to do so. But I'm one day, I love this shirt so much. So I have a bin of that. And then I have a bin of things that fans have given me over the years that should be in storage, but I just haven't moved it. It's in the house. And then I have one bin that's cords and stuff. So I was going through the cord bin trying to figure out what it is I need, and what it is just I kept because maybe one day I might need it. And so I was nope, I don't even know what this is for, and I'm just going through it. And I had my computer on, and it was playing just music and then a podcast, and that kind of stuff. And that's how I use my computer at home, really. And so, if anything, I should have a laptop at home, but I don't. I have this old busted computer. It doesn't do anything at all. And when I stream from there at home, sometimes it's pointless. Utterly, the graphics are terrible. I was playing Total War, Warhammer 3, and it chugged, bro. People in chat are maybe you could change the settings. I had to turn VSync on to slow the whole thing down. I had to make it when battles would load, my camera would freeze. It was just, I was nah. The graphics were down so far to the point that the lizard man I was playing, when he would move on the screen, he'd be a blur. Yeah, it was
lizard
a treat.
Blur.
Yeah, I couldn't, I was you know what? No, I don't, there's a reason I don't play stuff. And someone was well, you should get a new computer for home. I'm no. I honestly, if I could live in a world where I didn't need a computer from home, if I could disconnect without having to worry about oh crap, I gotta log into something, I totally would. 100%.
I just picture with you click on him, he's Gorak thinks you need 2020 prescription.
It really, I'll have to show you a clip. It's so funny looking. His gold, I was playing as Krokgar. His gold, the reflection of it, I guess whatever graphics thing they're using was a complete blur. So when he moves across the screen, because my computer can't handle that, he's just a blur moving. And it was so funny. Anytime there was a special effect, it would just be one particle. It was I'd use a massive AoE attack and it would go beep, 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 beep. And then just guys would die and you wouldn't see anything. And I was nice. This is how games are supposed to be played. It reminded me of years ago. I had an old Gateway computer, the computer with the cows.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember, I think it might have been my first year of college. Some Star Wars game came out where you got to play as clone, the clone troopers. And I remember being oh my God, yes. And I bought the game, went home, installed it when, you had to have CDs.
Right.
Installed it, started up the game, and my computer was so old and so bad that nothing rendered except barely the skeletons of the clone troopers. And I'd run around the corridor and I'd be shot by people that I couldn't see because they didn't render. That's how bad that computer was. So, I'm used to it. I haven't always lived this awesome computer life.
Oh yeah, I feel that. I remember doing that with my E-machine.
Oh my God,
yes.
The
E-machines?
Yes.
It's a classic, the old Best Buy E-machine. I just remember upgrading the video card in it. It was essentially putting a new engine in a 1982 Honda Civic or something. That was an experience. I remember I'd run a fan on it because it started overheating. Now that's gaming.
Dude, yes. I remember when I was a teacher, my computer was so old, but I turned up the graphics all the way for World of Warcraft, which is hilarious, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't need to, but I turned it up all the way.
Oh,
and that's the only, when I taught, the only game I played was World of Warcraft for that 3-year period. There's a period of my life where I think if you were to ask me about major game releases from 2007 to 2010, I could not tell you what they were. Hold on, I'm looking this up. I don't know what games came out. Super Mario Galaxy, never played it. First BioShock, did not play that till years later. Crysis, never played the original Crysis, played Crysis 2 and 3, loved it. The original Portal, didn't play that until like 2012. The original Witcher, I only saw my friend Mike play that when I went to visit him once. Rock Band, I did play Rock Band. I did play Rock Band because I had a console, and Rock Band was what my students were playing, so I played that. And I was very, very good at Rock Band to the point where I cheated. So take that, world.
What a gamer.
Yeah. Well, because you could, if you want to get the top scores, all you would do would be like, oh, you didn't have to like say the song lyrics, you just sang them. Also, I played Rock Band for singing, not for anything else.
Yeah, and you just did. I remember you said you did the thing where you're just like, oh,
and it worked. It worked every time.
Yeah,
I was in the top 10 for every song. And then people started to figure out like how to micromanage your bonus points, so they could like be 1% higher than me. Like it was ridiculous.
Losers, dude.
God of War 2, I never played that. I just watched a person play it. Mass Effect, I didn't play that till much later.
So were you just playing WoW this whole time?
Literally only played WoW. Didn't play anything. I'm looking at all these games. Paper Mario, Super Paper Mario, never played that. I still have never played Super Paper Mario. Never.
Well, Paper Mario 64 and then the 1,000-Year Door, the main Paper Marios.
Heavenly Sword, you would think I would play that because it's got a sexy redhead as the hero. Never played it. Yeah, nothing here. But you know what did come out in 2007? What? World of Warcraft Burning Crusade.
That's true.
And that is what I played. Played the hell out of that. It got in beta. I was so happy. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
I'm looking at all these things. Never played any of these till much later.
I've been playing World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King.
You know what? I was just talking to my former editor, David. He was over here helping me fix this computer. And he literally was just like, I don't play WoW anymore, but I want to go back and play Wrath of the Lich King. And it's crazy how different the game looks then compared to now. You know, like everything that I see, it's like the quality of life stuff in WoW currently, people are just, they're taking it for granted. He's like, man, there's so much stuff in this old game that I went back with fond memories and I played 3 hours and was like, I don't have time for this.
Well, here's the thing. I got time for it.
Are you enjoying it?
Oh, I love it. Here's the thing. I loved Classic WoW. People already were, let's like Classic WoW, oh God. But like, I love that slow-paced RPG feel. I think it's kind of chill. I just put something on. I just grind. Like, it's kind of like Monotony. You know how, like, in some games, like Path of Exile, Diablo, you just kind of grind shit and you're just like, blah, like your brain's off?
Sure.
It's essentially what I do.
I was about to say I don't know what that's like. I've never enjoyed the grind. But with that said, I will one more turn Total War until like 11:30 at night. I'm like, what am I doing? And I'll just put on in the background music and I'll sit there and just play. And yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it.
Yeah. It's, well, the reason I love Wrath as well is because it was probably the best of Classic WoW. Like, when Cataclysm hit, like, you covered Cataclysm.
Yeah.
It was okay, but that's when WoW kind of started not feeling the same.
It's when they changed everything. They updated everything. They added new stuff. They changed the whole experience. So, yes, the Wrath is the last classic. I'm very curious what they intend to do moving forward, because once they finish the Wrath story arc, in my mind, they should stop right there.
I think they're going to go back to classic original or like Wrath, and I think they're going to try to make new content for it. Because I think it's a different enough game that they could do that and people would play it. Here's the thing, I'd probably play it.
I feel like there's got to be like once Wrath is done and they have all those things in it that made the game successful. If you go to Cataclysm, the game fundamentally changes and it isn't classic anymore. It's modern. It's updated. It's where it is now.
Yeah, which I still like modern WoW, but it definitely feels more kind of like RPG-ish, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's something about that kind of slow RPG feel. Like some people are like, oh, I gotta buy reagents and arrows and stuff. And I'm like, I kind of like that. I don't like it to the extreme of like kind of old classic WoW. Like it was fun, but like Wrath, I think hits like the perfect sweet spot of it. And like all the classes feel pretty good. I leveled Druid, so I got my bird form. I just fly around as a bird. Plus the nice part is that everybody I know is playing it, which is also like one of the fun things.
For now.
But that's the thing, is like the part of the fun is when everybody's playing a thing and you're all playing it and you're all doing the thing, and like you gotta enjoy that moment until everyone starts fading away and going to other stuff.
Yeah, I understand. But I always feel like I want to play stuff in my own time, and the world of streaming is like, we're all doing it this week as much as we can, and the next week moving on. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's fun when you got nothing to play, and then there's like, everybody's playing this thing, and I'm like, nice. Then everybody's like power grinding, trying to keep up. The downside is if you're a person with a normal job, i.e. like Dr. John, who was playing with us, and then me, Gmart, Sinvicta were all around the same level, and now like I'm 65, I think Sinvicta's 66, Gmart's like 67, and now Dr. John's like 48.
Yeah,
because he had to like
he's a doctor and he has a job.
He had to like go to a wedding.
He does stuff.
I was like, dude, all you gotta do just tell the ER room like, yo guys, I'm just gonna go play WoW for like 3 days. They'll understand. You walk back in, like, hey, I'm back. Like, to just be like, yo, I'll do the jobs nobody wants to do or something for 2 days.
Yeah, no, I'm all right.
It's not gonna happen. But either way, my main point being, Wrath was probably my favorite expansion, so that's the main reason. Plus, we're all on a fresh server, so we all started fresh. So yeah,
that's cool. I think that's what the game's designed for, just to be a community, a game where everyone can play together, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I've been having fun. And then, the other nice part is they give you a 50% experience boost for pre-patch to Wrath. So that makes it a lot better.
Is that all you've been doing, is just playing that right now?
Speaking of which, I started getting my old computer gamer pains. Like, I remember I was getting eye strain. I was like having my shoulders were kind of like, and I was like, oh god, I gotta start staying, swapping again with my desk. I was like getting kind of lazy, like sitting too long. Then I started doing it. I had to roll out my neck and back with my massage ball or whatever.
How long are you playing, though? This goes against everything that you keep saying, like, I do short stream. Like, how long are you playing?
Yes. Well, here's the thing. I did short streams, and then Pokemon hit. And then I was addicted to Pokemon, and I was doing long streams. Then, what happened after Pokemon? Something... There's another thing I was streaming a lot of after Pokemon, and then this hit with WoW, and I'm like, well, I love playing, WoW, and like old school, everyone's playing it, so I've just been like power grinding. And then Sam was like, oh, I'm gonna get to 70 before all of you. I'm like, Sam, you're like level 15, and we're like in our 40s. And he's like, oh, and then we're like, all right, well, we're just gonna keep power grinding. And then he's like, oh, you guys are all power grinding now, I see, trying to beat me. We're like, Sam, we're going at the same pace. It's just, you thought it was a race. And he's like, oh, it's over. That's what he said. That
does sound exactly like Sam. Almost thought he was here for a minute.
Yeah. So honestly, after the WoW grind, I might take a few days off and just do nothing.
Oh, man, yeah, I hit a sweet spot yesterday where I don't know what it was. I streamed for 4 hours, and already I was like, 4 hours is exactly how long I think I should stream on like any given day. But during that 4 hours, I did 4 raid things in Final Fantasy 14. I beat Call to the Lamb, and then I played and beat something called the Don't Escape trilogy, which was super fun. It's like 3 old school point and click games that are kind of like the first one is you're a werewolf and you've locked yourself in a house, or you're going to lock yourself in a house, and you need to prevent yourself from escaping so that you don't kill people in the village. And you have to like figure out a way to do that. And the second one is zombies are coming and you have to prevent them from getting to you. And the third one is you're in space and something happened. You have to figure out like what happened. It's super interesting, super cool. I love it. It took, I don't know, like an hour and a half to beat all 3. That's my speed of game now. I was like, I played those 3, enjoyed them tremendously, and was like, if we could get more of this, I beat this game. It took me an hour and a half. I actually beat 3 games technically. I was like, now that is video gaming. That's where I'm at mentally. I started, finished, and was like, damn, I got time to spare.
For me, I still think my ideal stream time's like 2 hours. But if I'm like enjoying what I'm doing, I play for longer. But it starts hurting me physically and mentally.
Yeah, I agree that shorter streams are better. I just want shorter games. I'll accidentally stream long because I forget that I'm streaming.
Right.
Like I'll be just like sometimes I'll just talk to myself, dude. And so this is I'll just forget it. I don't know why.
You just talk to yourself and you're not even streaming.
Today, oh my god, today Dave was working on the computer and he was like focusing heavily. So I just started like making up a new Mary Poppins musical and just singing to myself about Mary Poppins. And it was Mary Poppins where all the kids were old now and Mary Poppins has to teach them about the youth of today. And one of the songs that she sings was about eating ass. And the I don't remember the tune now. It was very good. But the lyrics were like, and that's why you keep your bottom clean. Like that, like it's like you've got to clean your bottom. Like that was part of the song. And it was like I kept singing it over and over. I wrote a whole song in my head, which I've already forgotten. And it was hilarious. And the entire time Dave was just like, I miss working for you, man. Like, well, you know,
Listen,
if you always want to take much less money.
About teaching people how to eat ass as Mary Poppins, but then last week you're making fun of the person just eating milk with a spoon or whatever shit it was.
Whoa. Eating ass serves a purpose. Eating milk with a spoon while talking to yourself outside, that's madness.
What was, you're right, well, you're, okay. Wait, hold on, what was it called again? It wasn't a spoon. What did they want?
They wanted, oh my god, they wanted a, oh man, what was it? I think I still have the note on my phone.
Because now I can't remember it. Was it
a plant stick spoon?
Plan stick spoon.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
They wanted a plant stick spoon, which, you know, I get.
Yeah. Do you think you could eat ass with a plain stick spoon?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do anything with a plain stick spoon.
But all I'm saying is, Mary Poppins comes back. The musical made sense to me. The kids are much older now, right?
Right.
And they're in a nursing home or something, and they're like old, angry parents. You know how that shit is. They're like, oh,
right.
We're angry at the world because we're old people.
Right.
And then Mary Poppins shows up and it's like, lighten up. Let the kids have their things. And one of the songs is about eating ass because they see a meme on the internet and Mary Poppins sings to them that it's like the cool thing to do. But then she explains to them that you got to keep your bum clean though if that's what you're going to do.
That's true.
And then, but for some reason in my musical, even though they were old people, they all still sounded like the little kids. So they were like, Mary Poppins, is that where dingleberries come from? And then one of the kids is like, I love berries. And she's like, not these berries, children. Yeah.
But they're old people.
Right, but they're old people. But she still treats them like kids because you never really grow up is one of the other songs.
I see. Okay.
Right.
I mean, what other songs would she sing then?
Oh, there was plenty of songs. There was an updated version of Spoonful of Sugar, but it was about taking your medicine every day for your heart condition.
Like all cap, no mid.
I mean, there could be. It's quite possible. Yeah, like there's a song. We can make a song called Poggers.
Oh yeah,
where she explains what that means. Yeah,
just a wide list of Twitch emotes specifically.
Yeah, it's like clearly it's only one song. I'm not going to dedicate the whole musical to like Twitch. But like pop culture stuff. And she teaches them, and in the end they realize that it's no different from when they were kids. It's just a different form. And then they understand, and then they become like cool grandparents
that eat ass.
Well, I don't know if they eat ass. Although, I mean, it's possible.
I mean, they just heard that song. Why wouldn't they want
But first they got to go to step one. You have to have a clean bottom.
Or do they not have that?
I mean, I don't know. That's the question, isn't it? The question we're all wondering.
Maybe they've been drinking too much almond milk.
Yeah.
Too many FODMAPs.
Exactly.
Well, there's got to be a thing for the kids where like they hear about turning old. And they're like, I don't want to get old. But then they understand old people because of these songs, you know?
Yeah, it's all coming together. It's about the family coming together.
Yeah.
Mary Poppins, 2022.
It's just more flashbacks to me being like 15, being like, everyone's like, you got to sit better posture. You got to, eat better and do all this thing. And I'm like, I'll worry about that when I'm older. And I'm like, geez, wasn't supposed to happen this early.
I was listening to the radio coming into the office, and these people were talking about 9/11, and this one woman who is a radio show, I think she's on the news, like actual TV news. But she was like, I remember I just finished college, and I was, it was on the radio, and it was a crazy time, and I was like, oh my God, because I know this woman, she looks old.
Right.
And she just finished college, and I just started college.
Oh.
So there's maybe 4 or 5 years between us. Maybe. And I was like, oh, no. I was like, and then I started thinking, like, that was over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, and what's crazy to me is now that I think that way, I think about my parents, and I wonder what their time perception must be, because do they see me? I get why I can still be perceived as a child to them, because time is such a trip that I was like, my God, that barely. But also, maybe it's just because my perception, like, I don't have any consistent long-term relationship. I don't have a child. I don't have any benchmarkers in I am, for all intents and purposes, roughly the same person I was 10 years ago. And potentially 20 years ago.
Video games.
Yeah, my life has been fortunate enough to be pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of bizarre. I don't know. The last 10 years, actually 12 now, have been roughly the same.
That is pretty crazy to think about it. And
that's why everything blends together.
My last 10 years has been not the same at all.
Do you experience it differently then? Do you see benchmarks as like, oh, yeah, no, that was a rough year?
Yeah, 100%. 10 years ago, I was like, oh, yeah, we like started doing this podcast. And then I met Toaster Woman, and we like started dating, and then so that's like a whole thing in itself. Like a lot of things were happening. Then I was like going through my all my YouTube stuff. I was doing my YouTube stuff. I was growing. I'm like, yeah. And then Twitch starts getting big. I'm like, dude, I gotta start doing Twitch streams. Then I started having my stomach problems, and then I hit like the gallbladder. So I have like pre-gallbladder, post-gallbladder era. Then I started going to the gym. So obviously I have like the gym era of like becoming buff door. Pre and post buff door. Then I got like the COVID era hit. So you got COVID. Like there's numerous benchmarks in there.
I wonder if maybe my pseudo ADD that I have undiagnosed is the problem. Because for me, I don't recall much of COVID. And before that, it's all blended together. Like all of it's like I was very fortunate. I traveled. I like did my show, but most of it I don't. I'm telling you, I think I got a problem. Like but it's liberating. I'm not gonna lie. I was talking with Mathis the other day where he was saying that he started taking ADD meds, and he's like, at first I was worried, but now I've never been so clear-headed in my entire life. Everything makes sense. I'm picking up. I'm like, that sounds nice. And I'm really worried that what makes me will fundamentally change.
That is interesting to think about it, because, like, obviously people know you with, well, if you have ADD, they know you as the person with ADD. So it's kind of like, if I get rid of this, am I going to be different? Am I going to be liked by people? Or they be like, he's not as goofy anymore. He's just more serious.
Yeah. Am I going to have a conversation to start a podcast about how I got the poops? Is that would I be able to say that?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Will I have even more of a filter on myself? Will I think before I say something? That's dangerous for me. 90% of my content is me not thinking.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I don't have that. I was thinking about it because I've also changed a lot over those 10 years in terms of, like, my humor and my personality. Although I was like, I guess it's also different for me because, like, I'm like, I don't know, 8 years younger, 7 years younger than you or whatever. So, like, I was also going through this, like, growing up more. It's like, when I started, I was, like, 21, 20. And so, obviously, going, like, through your entire 20s, you change a lot. Like, I don't think I was, like, a full adult until, like, 20, probably, like, 27, 28.
I think most people, I don't think I was a full adult until my 30s, mid-30s. I don't think I grew up, like, I was still growing up. And I'll be honest, I don't know that I've actually grown up at all, but I've certainly changed from where I was. But I also am still the exact same person, if that makes any sense. Like, I just don't need... like, before I had this fundamental need to, like, be a goofball and, like, get people's attention. And now I'm like, nah, I don't even care.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of others. Because I think Mind Flame. Remember Mind Flame?
I do, yes.
I think he actually inspired my non-content. I was thinking about it. Because I think back then, I didn't have non-content yet. And I remember when I went to LA, it was like right after BlizzCon 2011. That's when Mind Flame was there. I remember we picked him up from the airport. He had a horse on a stick.
I do remember that, yes.
He had a horse on a stick.
I do remember that.
And I was just like, what the shit? And he just, like, starts filming stuff. He starts making his weird commentary. And he just did goofy things. And I think he's the one who kind of made me realize that he was like the OG non-content person. He was like the Obi-Wan content Obi.
I don't think Obi-Wan content Obi is correct. But yes. Yes, yeah. I get it. I know what you were going for.
Because I can go back now and I kind of piece together kind of who I am today based on people I was around over the last 10 years even. I'm like, oh, I think I got some of my personality from them, and I got like this from them, and all these different things.
I think so. I think you've definitely changed as a person. You're like somehow more mellow than before. And I don't know how that's possible. I don't think it should be possible, but here we are.
Yeah. I think just going through life also mellows you out. Well, some people. Some people. I don't know. I think
some people.
And just a combination of things like getting married, getting health problems, having friends go through health problems like TB passing away, like all those things add up. And that's, I mean, you can go to anybody and you have all those things happen. It's going to change you.
On the flip side, I am even more about like physicality and like being places and experiences and things like that versus thoughtful things. Like I enjoy a good thoughtful conversation, but I don't sit there and reflect. I think I've either lost the ability to sit there and reflect, or I don't know, maybe I never had it where I was just like, yeah, no, I keep moving. It's bizarre. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, this probably isn't right. This probably isn't natural.
Yeah. But maybe it is. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe you're the problem and not me.
I'm the problem.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't know.
I don't know either, man.
World keeps turning.
You know what else keeps turning? Ooh, that's terrible. My assortment of me undies.
Whoa.
That sucked.
That was pretty bad.
Well, let me tell you, me undies is the buttery soft, ultra sustainable undies, bralettes, and socks that just make my whole world turn.
Sure.
Excellent. I'll take it. You can make your booty and your whole body happy and turning. Oh, I'm going to stop. With these amazingly designed and ultra comfortable items, all you got to do is listen to your butt, which I've been doing all week long. See, I'm bringing it back. I'm just keep doing it until it works. All you got to do is listen to your butt, because me undies will talk to that butt. Trust me on this. Like Mary Poppins. Oh my, it's all coming full circle.
Oh my God.
Let your skin sing a song of joy with me undies, socks, and bralettes. They feel as if they were spun on silken clouds, guaranteed to be the softest you've ever felt in your life. Their signature micro-modal fabric is sustainable, breathable, and comes from magic. I still don't understand how it works, but it's incredible. Available in sizes extra small to 4XL. They have new colors and prints dropping weekly, so there's always going to be something exciting to check out. The newest pair I got is like looks like a cool Hawaiian shirt, but it's on my junk. So if anyone out there wants to see my Hawaiian junk, let me know.
Yeah.
Nope, it's too late now. Try their free to join membership for free shipping on every order and exclusive perks like an item shipped to your door every month, secret sales, and early access to their newest stuff. MeUndies has a great offer for you right now. For any first-time purchaser, you can get 20% off plus free shipping and returns. That's 20% off, free shipping on your first order, free returns. Don't even stress it. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. You're going to love it, though. MeUndies.com/Crendor.
That's me.
That's MeUndies.com/Crendor.
That's me.
Also, today we're brought to you by HelloFresh. Boy, this week I probably should have just been eating HelloFresh, let me tell you.
Probably.
Oof. HelloFresh is farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients, seasonal recipes delivered to your doorstep. Skip the grocery, skip going to terrible vegan restaurants. It's home cooking that's easy, fun, and affordable. It's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh is here to make your hectic fall just a little bit easier. Kids are back in school, or your job's working overtime, or, snow and weather. The other day it was raining here and the world collapsed in on itself. If you have amazing food already at home, shipped to you in pre-portioned meals that you can make yourself that take, 20 minutes to prep, easy cleanup options, all those different things. It's no fuss, no muss, time-saving, ready in a snap. It's exactly what we need right now, for sure. HelloFresh works with your schedule. Plans are flexible. You can change your meal preferences, update your delivery day, even change your address in just a few taps on their app. There's always something amazing on the menu, from family-friendly to fit and wholesome to veggie recipes. Again, you don't have to go to terrible vegan places. There's something for everyone. I know that I've used HelloFresh many, 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 many times. Crendor has as well.
Oh, yeah. In fact, we still make a lot of the recipes that we got. We just keep the recipes we got, and we're we can just make this whenever.
And it makes sense. They're very, very smart about it, where they're look, here's a pre-portioned version, but if you want, you can go get your own and put it together. But we're going to give you a version that is simple to make, and it's a good starting point. And honestly, I know this is about cooking on a time crunch, but it does help you just learn to cook, which I think is something a lot of people should do in their life. Cereal isn't a meal. just a heads up. Yeah. And if you can make a grilled cheese, you can make this. It's that simple. All you got to do is go to HelloFresh.com/Cox16 and use code Cox16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. That is HelloFresh.com/Cox16 or Cox16, and then use code COX16 at checkout. It is HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. All right, Crendor, let's go to Chopsticks on the sky with Crendor. How's that traffic out there?
Oh my god, you said it yourself. It's raining all over, it's hot all over, the roads are melting, but then they're getting cooled down by the torrential downpours. It is absolutely insane. That's why the 52's backed up, and the 408's backed up, and the 607's backed up, the 982's backed up. Big pile up over on the 444. Cars on top of cars. There's a 50-car pile up.
444.
Over on the 444.
I feel like you're making these up.
I would not do that. I'm out here giving traffic to the people. So watch out for that giant stack of the car skyscraper, if you will. And there's some other automobiles out there that are backed up. Back to you. Back to you.
Thanks, Crendor. I just want to say, I have for a long time not truly grasped how, like when there's a drought and then it rains and suddenly there's like mudslides.
Right.
I never truly grasped like why. You know what I mean? Like I know why, but I never. There's an amazing video. I think it might even be a TikTok. I'm not sure. I feel like it's been everywhere, but I don't know if you've probably seen this, where it's 3 cups of water put on grass. Have you seen that?
What?
So it's like a split screen where one is like wet grass, one is grass that was, it was like, I don't know how many days since it was watered, but it's like, it's been watered recently. And one is parched earth, right? And they take 3 cups of water and flip them upside down on top of it. And the one that was recently watered, the water like immediately disappears from the cup. It like gets soaked into the ground so quickly. And the one that has been, it's getting water, but it hasn't been water in a few days, it starts to like, slowly decrease and you can see it being absorbed. And the one that is on parched land, it just sits there. And you would think, because when we're thirsty, we're like, man, give me that drink, I'm gonna drink it. But the earth like can't absorb it, so it just kind of sits there. And so that explains why when there's a lot of dry stuff, when it rains, everything collapses in on itself. Like the mountains collapse and stuff. And I thought that was fascinating because I've never seen it done in a way that's like, oh my God, side by side, you can see the difference between what the earth likes and what it doesn't. It was interesting. I love that kind of stuff.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, it's a very like simplistic science thing that everybody can see and be like, oh, I get it. Unlike when you try to learn it in school and you don't get it.
Yeah, because they try to give you abstract ideas of things. And it's just like, if you just show this is like ground that is not accepting water. And it will eventually if it gets enough water, but the soil is so hard that it's going to take a while for it to like spread around. And that's why when there's a lot of water, and I think a lot of people need to see that stuff because they always just assume like, man, a good rain will fix it. And it's like, no, if anything, it's going to make it worse.
Yeah, it's that's interesting. Wow, yeah, I never even, what's it called? It's like the 3 coffee cup.
Yeah, I don't know, like water soaking cups. Video maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah. It's on YouTube. It is called How Long It Takes Water to Soak into Parched Ground. But I think this is not the same video because it doesn't look the same, but it is roughly the same mechanic.
I see.
Yeah, I went to 12 seconds in and it's the exact same mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
So it is clearly replicable. Like people can do it.
Yeah.
Which is like when you look at it, I mean, yeah, wet grass immediately gone. Normal summer, it's kind of like going down a little bit. You can see it soaking, and then heat wave grass, nothing is happening.
Wow, yeah.
See, when you see it, it like changes your whole perspective on the thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is actually insane.
Right? It's very cool. I was like, whoa, I love science. Like, here's the thing. I know people like to poo-poo people like, Bill Nye or Beekman's World. Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah, I love Beekman's World.
Or, just in general, just any scientist. I'm not getting into like astrophysics scientists and stuff like Neil deGrasse Tyson is his own thing. I'm talking about like earth sciencey people. People love to poo-poo them if they try to like dumb it down. Mm-hmm. But like, bro, you're gonna have to. We stupid as hell out here. You're gonna have to do that. And when people do that and it's easy to understand, you can get it through your stupid thick head like, oh, this is how shit actually works. Okay. And now you understand it, and now you visualize that forever. I will always remember that. It's such a cool visual. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. It's like in anything, or like if you're gonna play a game or a board game, someone's like, here's the rules, and they read them all off, and you're just like, I have no idea what you just said. But then you actually play the game, and you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah. It's there are people in the world. When I taught, there was a lot of like, okay, there's some people that learn through hearing, there's some people that learn through reading, there's some people that learn through watching stuff, but the vast majority of people learn by doing. And so you got to get them to do stuff. Yeah. And that's tough for a lot of people because they just assume they can tell you what to do and you'll do it. And I think I even forget that now. Even though I taught it for 3 years, I very much like I will hand a video off thinking it'll be edited the way I want because I explained it to them. And when I get a video back, I'm like, that's not what I wanted at all. That's like, oh, because I didn't sit down like a normal person and like try to map out what we were doing and show them how like that kind of thing. And I always forget that stuff. And it's always a good lesson to be like, okay, I remember. All right, let's do this the right way.
Anytime I get Dan to make me something, I give him a Microsoft painted version. And I'm like, here's something like this. And he's like, got it, boss man.
Dan is one of the few people where I think his ideas are better than mine. So I no longer give... When he does, if you watch my Final Fantasy 14 streams, there's a like intro video. And for that, because I know he has zero context, that I will send him loads of pictures and information for and give him an idea of what to do. But for everything else, I'm like, this man is funnier and better at this than I will ever be. Do whatever you want. Like, just go to town. And that, I think that's being a good boss, to be honest. Like, I'm not going to make this better. You do your thing.
Yeah. I'd say that's being a good... I think that's even being a good coach or whatever it might be, because there's a lot of times they're like, we're going to play our way. And we're going to play my way. We're going to play tough basketball. And then a lot of coaches are just like, hey, you play well this way. I'm going to let you play like that. So, like, it's just your style of coaching or being a boss or leading.
I think there's a way to be a leader where you recognize the strength of the individuals and you figure out a way to highlight them. Like, instead of being, all right, this is how we're going to play ball. We're going heavy defense. Instead, it's like, okay, number 13 is a badass. We need to get him in positions that can let him be a badass. Number 7, you're amazing at throwing. Let's stick to throwing then. And then you build off of that. Instead of just like, all right, we run hard. We run 3-4 split every time. Like that. Like,
we play hard, and that's going to get us where we got to go.
And sometimes that does work. So I understand why people like that. And if you're a coach, you're responsible for everything. And if your guys suck, it's on you. Yeah. But, like, I don't know, sometimes you just got to realize after a while, man, it's so much nicer to just be like, oh, you're naturally gifted at this thing. I'm going to enhance the hell out of that. Let's focus on that. And I think that letting go of stuff sometimes is part of being a leader. And so I never want to be a leader, but sometimes I'm forced to be. And that's how I lead. I'm like, you can do this? Good, do it. You're the talent. Enjoy.
I agree. I think that is the best way to lead. And that is the traffic.
That is the traffic. All right. Let's go to weather.
Weather. We have a weather request I found on Twitter this week. And I saw this and I had to do it because I've actually been here. So they said, Crendor, I would like to submit a weather request for Sandwich, Illinois. The Sandwich Fair is happening today. I'm going for tractor pulls and deep fried food. Thanks. So, let me do the...
Okay, I'll allow it. I'm curious why the Sandwich Fair isn't like, I'm going to eat BLTs and...
All right. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you my experience after I read you this weather.
Okay.
57 degrees Fahrenheit. Rain possible after 4 a.m. tonight. It is 89% humidity, 29.92 inches of pressure, 10-mile visibility, 12-mile-an-hour winds, 6:31 a.m. sunrise, 7:10 a.m. sunset, 0 on the UV index, and a waning gibbous on the moon phase with 54 on that dew point. Looking at the 10-day. You've got cloudy with occasional rain late, 52 tonight. You got Monday, 61 with rain. Tuesday, 75 and sunny. 79 and mostly sunny on Wednesday. Thursday's partly cloudy and 81. Friday's 83, mostly sunny. Saturday, 84, partly cloudy. And Sunday, 83, partly cloudy. And that's the weather for Sandwich. So, Sandwich, Illinois. So, this is, you remember Will, right?
Yes, of course.
I think you brought him up the other week saying he was super buff or something.
He is looking fit as hell right now, yes.
Well, years ago, I don't remember how long, this might have been like 6-7 years ago. Will was like, hey, I'm going to the Sandwich, Illinois Fair. I know you're in Chicago or whatever. He's like, but if you want to drive down here, he's like, I come here all the time. I have like family that go here. We're going to go to the Sandwich Fair. I can show you around. And I was like, all right, we could do that. So I was like, all right, here we go. And at first I was like, this must be like a sandwich fair. You gotta you eat the sandwiches or whatever. Like I had the same thought you did. And then it's just like a normal carnival fair type thing. But it's like, first you start driving down. You start going to that point where you're like, I don't think we're in the city anymore. And it's like, there's corn. The lights disappear. It's dark out. There's just like, there's a lot of corn. It's getting kind of small town out here. And then I think I parked at his family's house. He was like, you can park at my family's house, then we'll go. And
he
they were
lives
just
in Sandwich? Is that true?
He's got family.
I
think it's family. But we like stopped there. I swear, this town looked like a tornado town. You know those towns where it's like, they show up on the tornado shows like, and the tornado came and hit in 77. Like, it looked like one of those. And they were just watching TV. They're just like, hey. And then we went to the fair, and it was pretty cool. Like, they had they had all the fair stuff. They got your corn dogs. They got your rides. You got your, whatever you want, cotton candy. I don't know, games. And just kind of walked around. And it was just, it was a good time at the fair. I think it's one of the biggest fairs.
Why is it not about sandwiches?
I don't know. I still think it should have more sandwiches, to be honest.
Right? As a theme, it should be, come get all these different sandwiches. Like, whatever you want, we'll put it between bread. Like, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I assume they'd at least have some sandwich thing, but they didn't. So that was kind of disappointing.
What they do have
all right,
is they have this part of the exhibitor guide says, hey, do you want to exhibit stuff? Some favorites we have. These are their favorites.
Right.
And again, this is, Crendor was describing the country. This is peak country. For the 2023 fair, this is some things they would love to have. Old license plates. Old family photos. Wasp nests. No live wasps allowed. Star Wars Pez dispensers. And then they say, there's so many categories, it might be easier to say what we can't enter into the fair. That's it.
Oh.
Those are their suggestions. That's what they suggest.
Well, what did they say you can't enter?
They don't say. There's just so many categories, it might be easier to say what can't be entered. And then they don't say.
Oh. Interesting.
So, again, I love that the idea, someone came up with and wrote down wasp nests, no live wasps allowed. But bring your crazy looking wasp nests. We'd love that.
I wish it just had like things we want, wasp nests, things we don't want, wasps in nests. That's it. That's all it says.
Yeah, it just ended too. It just ended yesterday.
Yeah. So that's
concert information. Ooh, hold on now.
Okay, hold
Trace
on.
Adkins, Friday, 8 to 10. Ooh, Lord.
Oh my God, the Chase Adkins.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Is that it? That's it. That's the only concert?
Trace Adkins. Yep, he's coming to the fair.
WDYS Country 101.5 and AM 1480.
Got a bounce, 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 got a country song in there.
That's it, huh? There's no other. I thought there'd be like a whole bunch of. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Nope, never mind. That's still about Trace Atkins. That doesn't. I thought for sure there could be other people, but there is. I don't see anything.
No, you don't need anybody else if you got Trace Adkins.
He's there one day. You're telling me the rest of the time they don't have? I don't like it.
I don't know. But either way, that was my Sandwich, Illinois experience and Sandwich, Illinois.
All right. Well, that's the weather, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's go to sports.
Sports. Today was the first day of NFL football.
Ooh, Lord.
Big time NFL football, and I enjoyed it up until I watched the Packer game. We had the... Hold on, it's loading. The Bills beat the Rams opening night. We had the Eagles barely beat the Lions. We had the 49ers lose to the Bears. I don't know how it happened. I locked the 49ers in this week on our football podcast because they ranked the 49ers fourth, and the Bears are rebuilding. I'm like, surely they'll win, but the 49ers suck. They're also playing in the rain. But Steelers beat the Bengals in a shit show game. I watched that thing.
Hey, that's how they play.
That was, if you missed this one, the Bengals scored a touchdown to tie the game with no time left in the fourth quarter. They missed the extra point because the Steelers blocked it. It went to overtime. The Bengals then missed a game-winning field goal in overtime. Then the Steelers missed a game-winning field goal in overtime. Then the Bengals drove down. Then they had to punt it because they had penalties and some other stuff happened. And then the Steelers kicked a game-winning field goal with 0 seconds. Otherwise, it would have been a tie.
Let me just say for the record, that is the only way the Steelers play, is heart attack inducing.
Mm-hmm.
Having been a fan for more years than I think is necessary, and it's in the family to be worried every Sunday because they will consistently lose to teams they should have won and win to teams they definitely were going to lose to. Yep. And it is always a treat. But to quote everyone who has ever lived in Ohio who wasn't a Bengals fan, they're called the Bungles for a reason. They do screw up quite often.
Even though they did just go to the Super Bowl, but
did they win that Super Bowl?
No, they did not.
Bungled.
They bungled it. So that was an interesting game. Then we had the Dolphins beat the Patriots. The Browns beat the Panthers. The Colts and the Texans tied. That's right. They actually did tie.
Love a good tie, I guess.
Yep, I guess. Saints, Falcons. Saints won by a point. Ravens beat the Jets. The Commanders beat the Jaguars. The Vikings beat the Packers, which just sad game. Sad game. Giants beat the Titans on a crazy last-second play. They decided to go for 2 instead of kick the extra point, and they got it. And then the Titans missed a field goal at the end of the game. I don't know what they put in the water for these field goal kickers. Chargers beat the Raiders. Chiefs crushed the Cardinals. Buccaneers currently beating the Cowboys with 7 minutes left, so they'll probably win. And then Monday night, Broncos-Seahawks play with Russell Wilson going back to Seattle, and he'll probably demolish him. And that's sports.
All right. What is our fact of the day?
Fact of the day. This one made me go, what?
Okay.
The Goodyear blimp is the official bird of Redondo Beach, California.
I mean, here's the thing. I know that made you go, what? Because it is weird that it says the official bird. Yeah. However, every time I drive down the 405 past Redondo, that is 100%. There is the Goodyear blimp has a landing pad right off the 405. If you're driving from there to Disneyland, you will see it. You will see the landing pad. It is surprisingly close to a giant Bud Light plant, I think, where they make Bud Light, which is hilarious to me. But, like, yeah, it's there all the time. It's always flying around. So, like, even though it's insane, I get it.
I mean, I get it, but it's not a bird.
I mean, you're right, but I think they were being goofy, I think.
This is a serious matter. You pick a bird, or you don't. You don't get to choose a random thing just because it flies. All right, pick your bird.
Well, they did. And they decided it's like when people name that boat Bodie McBoatface.
that was still a boat.
Yeah, but they gave it a name, and it didn't need a name.
This is not like that at all. All I'm saying is they could have picked a bird that looked like a Goodyear blimp. They could have went out and been like, we're going to find the most accurate bird that resembles a Goodyear blimp. But
I don't think that bird exists.
It might. They didn't look.
Oh, now you're
How do
making me
we
look
know?
it up. Birds that look like a blimp. Nope. Although there is this one bird, a mid-flight tiny bird that does look like a blimp.
There it is.
His wings aren't in, and he kind of looks like a blimp.
There it is. I told you.
But I bet he uses his wings at other times.
Yeah, I mean, either way, that still would have been fun. And then you could have been like, this bird is just like our Goodyear blimp. And then he could have put the bird on the blimp. There's so many things. So many better. Whatever. Either way.
I mean, this is Redondo Beach we're talking about. So, like,
that's true.
It's to be expected.
I didn't even read the thing. The Goodyear blimp is nothing short of iconic, but we wouldn't classify it as a bird. That didn't stop Redondo Beach, a coastal city situated near the Goodyear blimp's home airport in Carson, California, from passing a resolution in 1983 to make the blimp an official bird. There it is.
Cool. What was that, 1983 they did that?
Yep, 83.
I mean, we had, it was a different time. Drugs.
That's
Lots of
true.
coke, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, probably a lot of drugs.
They looked up and probably thought it was a bird.
See, now that's what I'm trying to get at. That's probably what they thought. Too many drugs.
Too many drugs.
Too many drugs. And
although I'm still looking at this photo of this bird with his wings in, and he does look like just a floating blimp, and it's very funny.
Hold on,
it's a long-tailed tit, which makes it even better.
Oh, I think I've heard of that one.
Yeah, I think I know about that bird.
Oh, yeah, it kind of does look like a little blimp.
Yeah.
Huh.
Big fan.
That's your fact of the day.
All right, what is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day is an interesting, weird one.
That's okay, yeah.
I was looking around, and I came across this one, and I was like, wait, what is this? And here it is, okay? Researchers discover skeleton at Polish cemetery that's straight out of a horror film.
Go on.
Here we go. Researchers have recently discovered a centuries-old female vampire held to the ground by a sickle and buried in a Polish village cemetery.
What?
Yes.
Wait, how do they know she's a vampire?
I guess we'll find out. The remains of the so-called vampire were found by a team of Torun Nicholas Copernicus University researchers in Pien, roughly a half-hour drive from the city of Białystok.
You're doing it, buddy.
The skeleton reportedly dates to the 17th century and has a sickle around its neck, believed to be placed there to prevent her from coming back to life. There's also a padlock on a toe, and also attributed to superstitions about how to keep the dead from rising from the grave. The woman was also buried with a silk cap, which archaeologists thought indicated her high ranking in a society.
So this is like the vampire queen they got.
Yeah, she was the vampire queen. She was crazy.
I love the fact that this is clearly just like some poor woman that a guy was like, vampire, I swears it. Put a sickle on her and let's bury her ass.
A front tooth jutted out of the mouth, a feature that could have raised suspicions that she was a vampire. Such a discovery, especially here in Poland, is astonishing, especially centuries later. Polinsky told Archeo News that there were several methods the superstitious used to protect themselves against the dead who had been accused of being vampires and witches, including cutting off heads or legs, burning, smashing bodies against stone, and placing their faces towards the ground. The sickle also could have cut the dead person's head if they tried to rise again. More research is expected at the Polish cemetery. Researchers from Poland's Institute of Archaeology at the University of Krakow test the DNA of a skeleton.
And, okay.
Yes. That's it.
I am blown, like, it feels very much like, witchcraft stuff where they were just like, drown her.
Yeah. It is.
It's very, very interesting to me just how easily people bought into this, but I guess fear is a heavy motivator.
Yeah. Well, you also didn't have the same amount of, like, information as you do now. There's also a lot more, superstition, and people just didn't know anything. So they're just like, they say that vampires got teeth as sharp and that one's coming. Even though they probably said some, like, weird tooth thing that they need to go to a dentist for.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't think there was a dentist they could go to, but yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be vampire.
I'm obsessed with reading stuff about things like this because I read, I can't attribute it to anything, so whoops. But I remember reading a book where they were talking about how the way, like, if I were to accuse you of being a witch, right? If you said I'm not a witch, piss off, you're a liar.
Yeah.
We'd take you to trial. We'd, like, bring you before the whole city. We'd do this whole thing. And then at the end, we'd probably kill you. But if I were to come to you and be like, are you a witch? And you said, yeah. We'd take you to church, pray over you, then send you home.
Huh.
And people just would, of course, not say, yes, I'm a witch. But, like, 90% of the time, they'd be like, oh, okay, you admit it. All right, come with us. Let's get the priest. We've saved you. Now go home. And I was like, wait, what? That's what happened? I couldn't believe it. But I was reading about it, and they were like, yeah, this happened often.
Damn.
Yeah, it was like one of those things where, and I think that goes to show the amount of, like, I don't want to say ego. Like, there's maybe I do, but the idea that, like, the town leaders, the town elders, the dudes in charge of town, if you, like, acquiesced to them and said, like, oh yeah, no, you're right, they'd be like, all right, well, then you're fine. But if you, like, stood up for yourself and it was like, this woman's speaking a lot, we don't want that, then they'd, like, burn you alive. Like, we got to make sure the ladies don't get any more uppity. Burn this one. Crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Well, I mean, or she was a vampire.
Well, then, they would bury you with a sickle around you so that you would not be able to. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not into vampire lore. I don't know why that would stop them. Like, right. A scythe would be like, if anything, it'd be like, you've given me a weapon. Now I'll kill even more of you.
Listen, I mean, either way, it could have been a real vampire. We don't know.
I 100% positive it was not.
Well, that's the news story of the day.
All right, well, that's it for us. Thank you so much for listening or watching or however enjoying this podcast. Crendor, hit him with the socials.
We've got socials. There's youtube.com/Cox and Crendor. You can go see the new animations. Go check them out. They're pretty neat. Well, there's one. Maybe you missed the other ones. Who knows? Also, we got youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. Just add podcast to the end of Cox and Crendor. You'll find all the episodes up there. You can like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when these get uploaded. We're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud, except iTunes has been glitching out or something, so maybe don't go to iTunes right now. And then we got our own stuff. We got youtube.com Jesse Cox, youtube.com Crendor, Twitch TV Jesse Cox, Twitch TV Crendor, Twitter Jesse Cox, Twitter Crendor, Facebook Jesse Cox, Facebook Crendor, Instagram Notorious Cox, Instagram Crendor was taken, TikTok Crendor, Jesse Cox TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. There's probably some other stuff, but that's all I got.
All right. Well, that's it for us. We'll see y'all next time with another episode. And as always,
shake the rhino.
To be continued.